New tonight, police in Montpelier let the community know what they did to investigate the reported threat at the high school last month and why. They also opened up about other policing concerns that people raised. Local 22's Mike Hoey joins us now live from the newsroom tonight. Mike?
Well, Lauren, back on May 17th, police learned in the afternoon about an alleged threat by an 18-year-old student at the high school. In just a couple of hours, they progressed from meetings with school staff and a third party to doing risk assessments to what they say is an unusual step. Under Vermont's 2018 red flag law, the Montpelier Police asked the Washington County State's Attorney to apply for an extreme risk protection order. A judge granted it, and at about 7 that evening, officers seized 2 legally owned rifles and ammunition from the student's home.
I can recall, at least a handful having been served, and since this law came into effect, so it's a very rare thing for this to be utilized, and there has to, like you say, there has to be a pretty unique high threshold that have been met.
The threshold involves proving that a firearm owner has placed other people in reasonable fear of physical harm.
I can tell you for this particular incident, the weapons, in this case, again, 6 months for seizure, but I can tell you that the weapons are confiscated in ATF custody and they will be destroyed.
Even though the judge found there was reasonable fear, MPD officials say there's no indication that there ever actually was an imminent threat or that the seized guns were ever on school grounds. The student has not been charged with a crime, but prosecutors can extend the 6-month order if they can prove there's a continued risk. Chief Brian Pete also said the January 2018 armed standoff at the high school's football field, in which bank robbery suspect Nathan Giffen was killed, continues to influence how the department trains.
Heavily. And it also even goes back to an officer wellness issue as well. But it's something that we know Montpelier is not exempt to.
Corporal Michael Philbrick was one of the officers cleared of wrongdoing for firing at Giffen. The incident still weighs on him.
It takes its toll on me every day. It was a tragedy, but it was also an example of the system that we have in place, the training and such working.
Someone else asked how the city's police staffing situation looks at the moment.
We currently are authorized 17 sworn officers, but I would be comfortable with anywhere between 19 to 21 officers. We're currently staffed at 14 right now.
Lauren, the fiscal year ends 3 weeks from tonight. Chief Pete says the staffing crunch is drastic enough that the department has overshot its overtime budget by nearly $100,000 for the year. Live in the newsroom tonight, Mike Hoey, Local 22 News.
And Mike, Plattsburgh police appear to be close to identifying who may be involved in the killing of a woman last weekend.